All right, and welcome back, gentlemen. What'll it be? What's the plan?
Could I get a uh, large
No,
hamburger meal with two sides of fries
with Vorpal swords? No.
with the purple sauce?
All right,
He missed his chance to talk about how he found Vorpal swords. I just want to point that out.
It's true.
I fucked up that conversation big time. I didn't realize I was going to improv some shit.
Oh no. All right, what's the dealio? What have you decided?
We are
So-
going to the Crystal Harbor to find ourselves a troublemaker
Okay.
because that will make a better session.
Alrighty. So that is 300. Let's round to 370 miles. 370 miles divided by, what is that? 80. Not 3,470. That's a long ways. Okay, so it's gonna take you 4.5 days roughly. You'll get there. What is that? Midday on the 5th day.
Dang, our ships have really gone up in power.
Actually, I think
I
you're
think
going a
down.
little slower because
Are
the
we?
Stormsinger is slower than Ostenwald's
Yep.
Revenge was before.
Is it really?
Mhm.
Yep.
I'm
Other ones were
surprised.
base 12.
So, and then I forget, were we doing 30-day months or 31 day? This is my own world that I came up with that I can't remember the length of months in. That's
Nice.
fine. 12 months. Yeah,
One
30,
in trouble?
30-day
I'll assume
months.
it's 3.
30-day months, which means it is now the first of loyalty in the year 591. So, sailing to the Wildlands. Have either of you been to the Wildlands before?
Mm-hmm.
No, because we got put in jail before.
Oh, actually, Constance, I think, has.
I definitely have.
So, what is it like? What do we see in our short sailing montage? Besides like a noticeable increase in wildlife, as like maybe we sail past a pod of sky leviathans. Um, so beyond the natural life, what do we see with Constance as you're heading back toward the wildlands?
I think Constance gets more daydreamy. More
Okay.
like look, you just more scenes of her just looking off the edge into the distance, and like maybe we see like a jungle on the horizon, and we see like some bird like things kind of flying out of it, and she's watching it much more intently than
Right, like she's a
anything
little more engaged with what's going on around her as far as what's going on around the ship.
I think she's ignoring the ship itself just for
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so whereas normally she'd be like up to whatever hijinks and trouble she'd be causing on the deck of the ship, she's sort of ignoring the people and paying attention to the stuff that you're flying past.
mm-hmm.
Both relieving and concerning simultaneously.
And Albert, you have never been to the Wildlands before.
Yeah.
So what is it like?
All the
What is it like
silent
for him?
Um, I don't know. I guess there's a bit of it's just like a sailing mission. We're getting in here and we're getting off. But there's also like I don't know. There's a bit of excitement. In his youth he was an explorer, so
Mhm.
going somewhere new is something that he can't help but feel excited about.
Can we see that on his face a little? Like maybe a slight smile, nothing too overt because
Yeah, yeah.
it's
like
Albert,
a slight
but
smiles, but maybe more smugness than the usual percentage. I don't know, just general enthusiasm, and you kind of see these scenes of Albert like looking at maps of the place, or like talking to Zaire, seeing if they've ever been there before.
yeah.
And also training with the old fishermen in prisoner schools.
I think yeah. I was gonna say that I figure Zaire notices this change in Albert's demeanor,
Yeah.
because they've been spending a lot of time with you lately, especially since the events in Dunsimic and getting to see getting to see what Albert is like when he's dealing with grief, and so this is like noticeably different for them. And so they come up to you at some point, and they're like, "So, it is your first time going to the Wildlands, yes?"
Yes, I was behind bars before Mullen discovered it.
That is a shame. Though, looking at it in a different light, it is a blessing to get to see it for the first time.
I only wish I wasn't nearly this old. My youth, I would have been burning with passion, but now I can't help but desire to be in and out and on with our business.
Is that so? They look at you with a smile on their face. There was a time when Albert Vessinger was burning with passionate fire.
Well, you can say that Albert's always been burning with fire, but different kinds of fire. Yes, in the past I did travel some, with seekers and all. What is it called?
Travelers.
Travelers. Traveling with the travelers, as they say. It was a passion, something that I truly cared about, and well, circumstances have changed. I hope to find a suitable pilot. Sure.
Things have changed only so much, Captain. If you look around you, you may notice that you are traveling now, going to what is, to you at least, an unknown land, discovering new things, new powers, new places, new people. So, you may not be a formal member of our order anymore, but I think if you look at your life just from a slightly different perspective, you will find that the things that you loved to do, you are still doing them.
Truly, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but that is a chapter I've closed in my life, and for good reason.
It would be...
We'll go to Crystal Harbor, we'll recruit this man, and we'll be on our way.
I am sure. They give you sort of a knowing smile, and then I will leave you to your work.
Yes.
And we cut ahead to your small fleet approaching Crystal Harbor. Now, Crystal Harbor sits right on the edge of the Wildlands, where this river runs off the side. Though it's not like literally on the edge of the continent so much as right near it. A long time ago, Crystal Harbor was a mining settlement. It was one of the first mining settlements that the Empire set up when they started occupying the Wildlands, because there was a very large deposit of oolite there, which has since been mined away, and the crystalline oolite is where the town gets its name, and it gets the other part of its name from the fact that it's near a river, and where the mine once was, they actually mined straight through out to the open air beneath. And so the skyport there, rather than being these towers, these constructed towers that are common in other cities, the skyport is literally this mined out, this excavated space where they've built docks in sort of the center or to the side of center of town. Which ships are you bringing into town? All of them, or are you leaving some behind, or what is the plan?
My thoughts are we would probably, since we're trying not to attract Malkai's attention, I don't know if we actually know about Malkai being there, but just...
I mean, you know that he was headed to the Wildlands.
Okay. Yeah, so...
Because that was in the newspaper.
He's kind of, crazy and looking for us and wants to kill us very badly.
A little bit.
So, what my thoughts are is that we approach stealthily and, only bring like one or two ships, probably like Pleasure Palace, because that's really not known to be associated with our group.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like roll with that.
There's probably some small town constabulary that's got a theft report for the Pleasure Palace, but beyond that, yeah.
Yeah. It's our most undocumented ship, and I'll probably bring...
Well, second most.
Wait, second most undocumented ship?
Yeah, Stormsinger literally hasn't been seen.
Stormsinger has some other notoriety in the fact that we flew it over town, and it's the most unique ship we've
I mean,
had so far.
literally just made.
It's unlikely that... So, this is a chance to actually talk about some cultural stuff with the Wildlands, too. It's frontier land. So, you'd think that they'd get a lot of news, but honestly, the only people coming here are merchants bringing in supplies and people trying to get away from wherever they were. So,
Fair.
If they've not run to one of the freeholdings in No Man's Land, and they're deciding to go to the Wildlands instead... it means they probably skipped those places for a reason. So you're either getting people who've been sailing for a long time because they've been shipping, or people who've been sailing a long time because they were trying to get here direct from Mulland.
Fair enough. And I just remembered that most people don't have magic stones that let you send messages across infinite distances.
Exactly.
Yeah. That tends to help. Alright, so yeah, we'll...
It does.
Okay, then we'll touch down with the Storm...
I'd still say Pleasure Palace.
Yeah, Pleasure Palace. We'll have the Stormsinger dock separately, maybe.
Because it's also not equipped for war.
The Stormsinger isn't?
No,
the Pleasure Palace.
It's our only ship that isn't customized. It's just a fishing boat now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we'll have everyone else sit out in like a cloud bank somewhere.
Okay. Who are you bringing with you?
Um.
Keep in mind that you need enough space to bring yourself, or bring your pal back if you get a pal.
Probably Zaire, because for whatever reason, I feel like that's been my go-to companion so far, and yeah.
Okie dokie.
I like him.
All right, yeah, Zaire will, gather up their supplies and head over to the Pleasure Palace with you.
Is Constance coming with? Is Constance coming with?
Yes.
Right.
No, Albert can just go get himself in trouble. That's fine.
I wasn't
Of
sure.
course Constance is going with... Look, if Constance never went with Albert anywhere, this show would be very boring because you'd never get in trouble.
Right.
Also, we wouldn't get anywhere.
Okay, so the three of you are heading down. Is anyone else going in the Pleasure Palace? It can hold, what is it, up to 5 or up to 6?
Up to 6.
Up to 6. So is anyone else going to be, like, is somebody going to be holding down the fort while you guys
Yeah, we
go
should
into
have
town?
someone hold down the fort. So, Gamzee's is too crazy.
What? No.
Well, she's like very, very strong and very roughy tufty, but we also don't know how notorious she is in the Empire.
She's not wearing her mask. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, the only notoriety that you would know of her having would be her as the Rumara when she was a revolutionary.
Okay. If that's the case, then let's go with Gamzee's over Lifo, because Lifo is too much of a metal block to talk to people if they need to talk.
So it's that fishing ship that had some genasi on it versus that fishing ship that had a robot on it.
Yeah, I guess.
Lifo is standing there with like his long sword and his armor. I do not understand what the problem is.
We could always go for both genasi and. No.
I mean, Gamzee's and Lifo have been spending a little bit of time together. Gamzee's mostly out of curiosity.
I would like to leave a space open on the ship.
1,
Just
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, leave a space
like
open.
an extra space just in case.
Okay, then let's bring Gamzee's, leave Lifo behind.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
we have someone on the ship.
Gamzee's will hold down the fort as you guys go into town. Zaire will walk with you, and then you'll just, try not to cause any problems.
So like while we're in the, I'm gonna right before we start going out and heading around and doing stuff, I'm gonna pop into the port and I don't know, just kind of wait, hold on, do people notice us or recognize us? at the gates? Or are we
So you guys, you fly in,
Yeah.
leaving the rest of your ships out a little ways, maybe behind a small island, so it's not really noticeable from town. Um, and you know, there's some traffic, but really not all that much. It's honestly really quiet for a port. You're used to flying into places where like other ships are coming in or taking off at a pretty frequent rate, and here it's just sort of like the ships that are here, and there are some open slots.
I'm gonna spend a point and anchor onto my ship.
Okay.
All right. Do we have to talk to a port authority, or are we just allowed in?
You don't have to talk to a port authority to like fly in, but once you're there, of course, somebody involved with the harbor will come up and.
So like as they interact with us, I'd like to spend one of my thingies.
You have a social point, right?
Yeah, social point. I'm gonna spend a social point and like after introducing each other, good to do, sir. Oh, your name seems familiar. I happen to have a letter from your brother.
Actually,
A
hold
traveler
on.
was passing through.
Which type of token? You're spending a low class token? Okay.
Would a low class token work with this person?
I would say a middle class token would make more sense, but
Okay, but that would also kind of have more of an authoritarian influence.
Low class is like beggars.
yeah, low class. I mean, low class is
It's
beggars
soldiers,
and like
beggars. Yeah.
peons,
So,
whereas middle
spend-
class would be people who have some kind of authority over something.
I'm gonna slip them the letter and be like, from your brother. I picked this up from a traveler at the lodge. Said they were looking for someone by that name.
Oh, really? What? Thank you.
Yes, of course. As a matter of preference, we're traveling with a traveler aboard our ship.
Zaire like waves.
Preferably, we'd like to keep talk to a minimum. There have been some nasty rumors spreading around, and we don't want to be ID'd or anything.
Oh, of course, yes.
Thank you.
He nods and bows a little to Zaire.
Yeah.
You are always welcome, of course.
Yeah.
Gamsee's just sort of like looks over at Zaire.
Which way to the market?
Oh, the market. Yes, he'll give you directions.
Yeah. So we're gonna go over there.
Yeah, you you see Gamsee is leaning back up. The Pleasure Palace is the one that you took when you went to talk to the Rumara in the desert, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
She settles in the same spot in like the doorway and like kicks her feet up. Have fun storming the castle.
Like a security guard after like 10 years on the job.
Yeah, she looks a little put out that she's stuck like watching the boat,
shit.
but
Oh, poor Gamzees. All right, so my guess is we're gonna go to the market, and Albert's gonna start talking people up, seeing if there's been like rumors about a bard with a pure silver violin.
absolutely yes. Immediately you can find people talking about this guy. He's been performing every night for the past, except weekends, for the past probably month or so. In some tavern called the Rusty Barrel.
Right.
So yeah, and apparently his music is sublime.
Good.
I'm gonna wait around in the market because there's some things I want to look for.
Okay.
Oh dear. I'm gonna go to the Rusty Barrel and familiarize myself with the locale, like talk to some people, have a few drinks, and get ready for wait for the person to perform tonight.
Okay. Who
And
is
I'll
Zaire
like-
going with if you guys are splitting up?
Zaire, keep an eye on Constance. I wouldn't want
They
if she's
they
gonna
close
get
their
into
eyes.
trouble-
Of course.
If she's gonna get into trouble, I'd rather her have someone who's capable.
You guys make it sound like I'm not just gonna teleport back onto the boat as soon as I'm in trouble.
That's perhaps is the problem, Constance.
No fun. Just walk off.
Yeah, you see maybe Zaire adjusts their sword belt a little bit and starts actually like actively looking around as they follow Constance. So Constance, what are you getting up to?
I'm looking for an egg.
You can find
Okay.
a good deal, 2 for 1.
Do you have any tokens to spend, or are we going to be making some rolls? Or I guess we're going to be making some rolls. Do you have any tokens to spend, or are we making a lot of them?
I have a high class favor.
You could spend a high class token. That would
Alright,
probably get you
1 token.
Okay, yeah. So I think what this looks like is less that, oh, Constance knows someone who works here, and more you run into an elf. And like, you're just walking down the street, you're looking at stalls and shops and being like, no, where the heck would you buy this thing? And then you hear a voice from somebody that you just passed go, Constance?
What? Who? Nice.
By the stars, little Constance?
Man.
And there's this elf man who to our eyes looks to be probably in his mid to late 20s, but of course age with elves is deceptive, so who knows. He has he's wearing relatively imperial fashion, but he has a line of earrings down the back of one ear, made of jade and oolite and various other exotic materials that mark him as a native of the Wildlands.
Why, if it isn't... Sit there for a second.
Threlamar.
Thromar, of course!
I haven't heard from you since, or your parents since you left. We'd all sort of assumed you died.
They got into some trouble. But
My apologies.
I'm here. Yeah, long story about how I ended up here and all that. Want to go talk about it somewhere that's not open in the market?
Absolutely. Just give me a couple moments, will you? And he, steps backward, stretches. You catch him grab something off of a stall mid-stretch and then put it in his pocket. All right, just this way.
Just gonna... All right. Just follow.
And he looks over his shoulder and takes you down a couple alleyways. You walk in a circle or two. And we should be safe. And just right this way, there's a small hole in the wall. And, he takes you down another alleyway where there's a literal hole in the wall. Into this small... It's like a... It's a courtyard with these tropical plants hanging overhead, and the sun filtering down through the leaves, creating these interesting shifting patterns on the floors and the patrons of this small cafe.
This just reminds me so much of Thailand, where you're literally walking around on totally urban streets, and then you make a left turn into a dark alleyway, and then you turn down the alleyway, and you're like, holy shit, what the fuck is this? It's literally trees that are taller than the buildings and nice little hidden cafes. It's
yeah,
what did I just walk into?
Yeah. So I think Zaire is no longer keeping track of you. They're just looking around trying to take everything in.
Oh wow, this is
relatively unknown, so we should be safe. And he
yeah.
gestures to a serving person over in the corner, and they'll nod, and he goes and sits down.
So, wow, so many years. Empire has definitely done a number.
we didn't know about them when you left. So yes, I would say.
Yeah.
Have you been to the village?
No, we're kind of just stopping by on word of a rumor, and
I would save yourself the trip.
well, at least I know my parents didn't make the wrong choice.
Yeah. I'm dreadfully sorry, and you are. He'll gesture to Zaire. Oh, apologies. I am Zaire Siad-ul. And they shake hands.
Mm.
You're keeping interesting company.
Oh, a lot of it, yeah. There's a thing that I need, hoping to find. Didn't see it in the stalls, not that I would, but I need a wyvern egg.
And
Mine.
my condolences. In case you hadn't noticed, I've been engaging in a certain kind of, let's say, less publicized trade here in the city. So it's fortunate we ran into each other.
Indeed.
There are a couple that I know are available around the city, if, that is, you have the coin.
Got a good chunk right now. Could have more very quickly.
They're not going cheap. Last I contacted anyone about this, usually rich imps looking for fancy pets, and a reason to keep paying their healers. About 1,000 coin. The gold's timed.
That's steep, but not impossible.
If you
Well,
can provide the coin and you're going to be in town, I could get one to you within a few days. How long will you be here?
well, we were hoping to get out as soon as possible.
So, a rush job? Tonight, maybe?
Tonight would be ideal.
Alright, might be difficult to get somebody to part with one that soon.
Stop. And there's no clients you don't care about there, or rivals that you don't quite care their happiness at the end of this transaction.
I don't know how the black trade runs in the Empire proper, Constance, but here our connections are the only thing keeping us alive. Staying useful to the imps. It's the only reason I'm still here, and the others aren't.
Well, there goes the chance for the great resurrection of Constance Stormheart, Stealer of Dragons.
Well, maybe with a new greenback you'll get to stealing some more. I will say, some word of your exploits have made their way even this far. I didn't assume it was the same one, but imps have been cursing the name Constance Stormheart for quite some time.
And they think I'm dead. Well, the dumb ones do.
Well, I have never been happier to find that the Imperials are wrong. He'll, he lifts a shot to seal the deal.
Seal the deal.
Alright, clink, throw one back. Zaire looks between the two of you, looks at the shot, shrugs, throws it back. And I think we'll scene transition there to scene transition over to Albert.
So this is, I assume it's already like nighttime or whatever by this point, or at least the player has come.
I think not quite yet. It's getting into the evening now. You've been here for a couple hours. Have you been drinking at all, or eating?
Oh, yeah,
or, like,
yeah.
have you been engaging with the clientele?
His collar's kind of been like progressively becoming more and more rumpled. He's kind of like moving, like
your officer's
hands.
jacket is unbuttoned.
Yeah, he's probably like talking up a couple of adventurers, like asking questions about what's been going on.
Are you sitting at a table or over at the bar?
Probably at the bar.
Okay, then you're likely getting to know the barkeep. She's a sort of a gruff, not very talkative human who clearly came here from the Empire, and she'll, like, anytime you ask her a question, she just, like, sticks with the fewest words possible. But other people at the bar sitting there are willing to converse with you.
It's like trying to strike up a conversation with the bartender. If though somewhat successful, like, inspires sympathy in people. Like, oh well, I mean, I guess I could go talk to the guy. I heard there was a performer that was coming by here rather frequently. You don't happen to know anything about that, would you?
Oh, that sounds like John. That does.
John.
John. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful performer. Plays the prettiest music.
I'm rather shocked. I heard things about silver violin, and I thought, dang, who's playing on the silver violin?
You tell me, but I mean, you hear it, and sounds like angels.
All right.
And I think the bartender, like, walks up with her arms crossed. Are you gonna buy another?
A drink, you're asking? That's rather quite a few.
Look, I only have so much space here.
Here, just like he just kind of fumbles around, grabs like a pouch full of gold, throws at her. Drinks on the house.
I think, yeah, like, you go to throw it, and it tumbles out of your hand, and just onto the floor. And one of the serving staff, it's a young half elf, like, bends down and she picks it up. Here, sir.
No. Just, I don't know, pay for my drinks, and if there's extras, some lucky sod's tab will be picked up too.
That's very kind of you. And she'll, like, put out the coins for the barkeep. The barkeep glares at her, glares at the pouch. She puts a couple more coins down. Barkeep nods, takes the coins. And I think around this point, Zaire and Constance will find their way in. The question is, did Constance and Zaire continue drinking?
Of course.
Okay, so the three of you are a little tipsy. Are there rules? There have to be rules in 5th edition for...
I think they're called roleplay...
For being drunk.
Yeah, no, it's literally...
Okay.
To my knowledge, they didn't bother because that's one of those number crunches.
That's also... Yeah, it's a boring number crunch thing, but also it's a thing that you can just factor into things like disadvantage if it makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, the three of you are pretty smashed.
Constance, Zaire, how wonderful it is for you to join me.
She is alive, Captain. I did not let her get into the trouble that would kill her.
Rather shocked. How long has it been? Like, God, how many cities? I guess Sanctuary is one. Can we?
You were
that?
not following her around. She got into trouble.
I just sit down like, sit down, look at the bartender. They're lightweights. I need more. And I
Coin.
start
Three of
tilting out of this chair.
Yeah, she pays you no mind. She just says, coin.
I just take everything from Vessinger.
You just take his drink.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Vessinger's just like, another one. I've got the tab running. Fine. It'll be fine.
There's a general hubbub in this tavern. It's a fairly popular place. And all of a sudden you notice that it gets quiet. Looking over to the end of the sort of common area, there's a space where tables have been scooted back, so there's a small performing space, and a young middle-aged man, a man of
A young middle-aged man.
let me double check what I have written down. A man probably in his mid to late 30s. He's a half elf. Is pulling a stool over from one of the tables into the performing area, and he has a small instrument case next to him, in black leather, and he sits down as the conversations die down, and opens the case to reveal a shining, like pure silver violin. He pulls the instrument out, looks around, smiles when he sees that it has people's attention, and then begins to play. And you were not undersold. He is a very good performer. He plays several songs. He plays some songs about just like what it's like to live here on the frontier, and have to eke out an existence in this place where you have to fight for everything. And he closes out his set with a song about the advice that his mother gave him growing up, which was to just sort of like let things be and like let go of the dreams and just be happy with what you have, and how instead he sold everything to become what he is, and now he's watching it all unfurl before him. And he has probably like an hour-long set that he plays, and the entire time the whole tavern is just deadly silent. And when he finishes, the whole place goes up in applause, and he takes a single bow and begins packing up.
Well,
yeah, so Albert's gonna get up, like, kind of shakily, and then, like, steady himself, got it.
Constance is gonna stand up, walk right up to him.
Yeah, we're gonna like, if Constance is like walking, wait till he's cleared this.
Nope.
Oh, no, sorry, I don't do autographs.
What would you autograph? All I have is my face.
And it's the right fine face that is, but I still ain't signing nothing.
Just
You like push her away. I'm not signing yours either.
Rather interesting. I'm not here for your autograph, however. I'm rather interested in your talents, though, if you would mind sitting down for a drink.
He looks toward the front of the tavern. Oh, I'm afraid I don't have any time left. I need to be getting myself out of here.
What's the matter? Please.
Wait, no. Do you want to be a pirate?
Lovely talking to you, but
Wait.
John Gleason. Shite. And if you look over to the front of the tavern, there is a group of soldiers in Imperial Guard, Imperial outfits. I've been tracking you for a long time, Gleason.
Oh, they're not here for me.
I'm afraid I don't know who you're talking about, and have a wonderful day.
Look. Hold on, Officer. We can work this out as professionals. What is your gripe with this man?
This man burned down taverns all across northern Moland. He ran away to here. Try and escape.
Hold on. You're the guy who did the...
I can neither confirm or deny anything of the sort.
See, I heard a couple of those rumors myself, and I was rather interested in meeting the man. Who would have thought?
Right, we should go outside.
John, Mr. Gleason, if you will. Would you like to accompany me back to my ship?
I think perhaps...
Wait, I will have a conversation with these fine gentlemen here.
Oh, no, Constance, please, allow me.
No.
What's that over there? And the guards like look over behind the bar, and then you hear a smashing sound as he dashes a lantern into one of the tables.
Does it light on fire?
That's me cue, and he just like jumps out one of the windows, like through the glass.
Wait for me!
And the guards are gonna follow. So his daring escape of lighting the rusty barrel on fire and then leaping out a window ends in him with a couple glass shards in his arm, directly outside the tavern. I'm gonna have a map for you in just a second.
Yeah.
Wait, sir.
Mr. Gleason.
Oh, feck. That was
Wait, Mr.
thicker glass than I was expecting.
Like Albert, so you hear a as Albert dive bomb flies through the window, and ends up outside next to him. Hold on.
I think you land and we see Albert hop on one foot as you try and correct your momentum.
Look, Mr. Gleason, I have a particular interest. If what I hear is true, I have a particular interest in whatever abilities you might possess. And perhaps as a show of my goodwill, I would like to show you something. Fuck. And like you see him pause for a moment, and then place his hand on his injuries, and then you see Albert's skin crackle and burn, it cracks form, and then they're filled with this molten flowing energy, and his eyes glow with light. And that energy kind of just flows through his fingertips into what's his face's wounds, and they just kind of bubble up in the same way that Albert's own wounds kind of bubble up with that molten energy, and it the old skin is just replaced. Kind of similarly, it bubbles up and the glass shards taken out, and the skin kind of takes on an ashy tone, but the wounds are healed. How many points of land hands do I have to expend for that?
Just expend 2.
Anyways, I'm gonna deal with these guards if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, so the Imperials have headed outside the tavern at this point, and they are directly nearby. You know what? I forgot to turn on dynamic lighting, which I mean ultimately is fine, but here. Because it's nighttime. So, let's start getting some initiative going, shall we?
Yeah.
Yikes. That is very good. Go ahead and roll initiative for Zaire and Albert as well.
Yep. Just saying Zaire really quick.
Scouts and guards.
Wow, that 5 initiative sure is above 17 in the order.
I haven't ordered it yet. Chill. Cool your jets.
What the fuck, man? Those are some busted ass rolls.
Alright, and descending. Shit! Alright, well, regardless, Constance goes first. So, prepare for some proper mayhem.
Mr. John? Excuse me. While a massacre occurs. I just step around the corner and just like, as I step, you just see my arm swing out. And then, I haven't used this one in ages. What's my max point spending? 5? 5.
Oh shit, John got directly after you too. Alright, so Windstream. Shit! That's a really good one for right now. Okay, so each creature in that area, strength save or take damage, save for half. Alright. So, and you're hitting, I assume, the 3 up front?
The row of 3.
Okay. Let me get some saves for you.
And then after that, I will probably activate a bonus action.
1 rolls a save, fails miserably. 2 rolls a save. Is that a pass? That's a pass.
Yep. Takes half damage.
Which is not surprising, given that he's the main dude. And then 3 is going to roll and also pass.
Well done, sir.
So is that a total of 27 that I'm seeing?
Total of 27, yes.
So round down to 26. That's 13 for the ones that saved, a shitload for the ones that didn't. 1 is straight up killed. 3 straight up killed. And does 2 survive? 2, in fact, does not survive. You just killed all 3 of them. What does this look like?
So, as I said, like, she just, like, flips, like, does, like, a spin, and then just a hurricane with, like, cracks of lightning in it just flies out of her hand. And I think, instead of being, like, a tornado that, like, is stretching out from her hand, it's literally, like, a ball of wind that just goes straight down it, like, the path of the spell.
Mm-hmm.
And just flies through them and, like, hits them, then just spins them and chucks them against walls. And like their heads smash into the ground as it hits them. Like
we see one of them. We see 2 of them get thrown into the tavern and bounce off the walls, and like crack their heads. And then we see that the one that was in charge, who is in the powered armor, get like swung up into the air and smack into the 2nd story of the building across the street, and then collapse to the cobblestones. Under the weight of his armor, and perish.
And then I'll finish my movement.
Okay. And then it's John's turn, and John says, "Oh fuck me," and steps over here. Away from Albert and Zaire, and then I think, he's gonna cast Fireball.
What?
So he casts Fireball.
I like him already.
And rolls a shitload of damage, centered right here. So I'm gonna need some saves. I'm going to save out of Constance, then I'm going to roll some saves for these guys who are about to just straight up die anyway.
Doesn't Fireball hit him?
Does it? Hold on, what's the... It's a 20-foot radius, right?
Yeah, radius.
Yeah, he's more than 20 feet away.
Oh, there. It was showing it from here. Yeah. When you first measured it.
Oh, no. Yeah, so he's cool. Yeah, so I'll roll for the guards who are absolutely about to die. Oh shit. His sheet is currently set to send to GM. I am sorry about that. He rolled a 30 for damage, and the DC is 15.
DC 15?
Mm-hmm.
No, alright, I'll take 30 damage.
And then I need to set this up to not send to GM. Output to all. I'm just gonna test with a quick strength check. Okay, yeah. Going to chat now. Okay. Saving for the first guard. Nope. Saving for the second guard. Nope. Okay, so he steps out of the alleyway into the street, backing away from you guys, and he whispers a couple words, and you see a small flame gathering in his hands, and the skin on his hands cracks very similarly to the way Albert's does when Albert is invoking magic, and we see the fire like pouring out of the cracks and coalescing into his hands as the amulet on his neck glows, and then he casts the sphere of flame forward, where it explodes amidst Constance and the corpses, and the two guards are immediately incinerated. They're just turned into ash and they blow away in the wind. And Constance, you're severely burned.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing to do with you or any of your trouble.
You just threw fire at me.
I'll do it again. So the guards are dead. We can come out of combat now.
So Albert's gonna take a moment to clear the poison alcohol from his system using lay on hands, because Constance can deal with damage. You don't need my lay on hands for that shit.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna heal myself on my next turn.
Yeah. So kind of walking out of the alleyway, you see Albert's skin light up again, and you see you can see his veins lightly outlined by those burning flames. His eyes are glowing. For a moment, as he steps out of the alleyway. Now, sir, I'm certain we can come to an agreeable solution. I am not here to pursue you or to seek redemption or to drag you into some kind of mess. I have a curiosity as to the source, the nature of this ability that you're throwing around. It's of rather personal. And also, if you are willing, I would like to offer you a position aboard my ships.
You want to ken where this power comes from? You don't know?
Well, I'm not...
As they're talking about, you don't know where this power comes from! And then, you just see in the background, Constance, burnt, and you see electricity, spark over her, and she's just completely back to normal.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Well, I can tell you we have a wee bit to talk about, if you don't know already. That means someone gave it to you.
Well now, I wonder who would be so interested in doing such a thing.
He eyes you suspiciously. What did you say your name was there?
They call me Vessinger. Captain Vessinger. Captain Albert Vessinger.
So, that's Constance Stormheart.
Yes.
You didn't get it from the ball of...
Lightning, yes. She has rather an ego trip about that.
So, I just lit Constance Stormheart on fire.
Not very well.
Oh, shite. Well, I will say, in the places I burned down. Yours were the names I was hearing.
So does that mean that
If you're looking to start some fires in the right places,
that's what I like to hear.
all right.
But first,
I
I'd like
suppose
kind of
we
pull
have
a
a great
corpse
deal to
out
talk
of
about.
the power armor.
Yeah.
You're like pulling this broken, bloody body out of the armor. Okay.
Yeah, just pretending like that's not
Armor.
happening in the background. Like,
Meanwhile, the tavern is slowly going up in flames.
perhaps we should find a better locale.
Get the fuck out of here.
That would be
I-
the way of
I
putting
want this armor!
it.
Zaire sighs and rolls their eyes, walks over and like starts pulling Constance away.
It's dragging the
It's-
armor behind.
I understand. You already got one thing from the city. You can only have so many gifts in one day.
I mean, I could just teleport it back to the ship.
What did you do today? That's my question. And it's like it kind of like fades out.
Yeah, I think Zaire looks over like they just realize, like they've just been caught in something. They just realized that maybe they should have talked Constance out of something earlier.
Don't worry. I have to meet
About
some...
that.
I wait. Just a second. You're not the only one who can purge poisons from your system.
All right, so yeah, you can sober up, and I think we can fade here. We end our like interim summer break special. So that means next session we're going to be getting to learn what the deal is with John. We're gonna find out what the deal is with this egg. We're probably gonna find out what's going on with the Leviathan's descent, finally.
Hopefully.
Maybe even find out why Molokai wanted it so badly. So next session should be pretty exciting. We're not gonna have it this weekend because some stuff is coming up. But
Weekend after that, for sure, maybe.
for sure, maybe. Yeah. If you want to keep updated on that, you should follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/anarsis. And if you want to see our past episodes, all of those are up on YouTube at youtube.com/anarsis. I'm Anarsis everywhere. Find me. Also, you can give us a follow down below, and then Twitch will let you know when this shit is happening. You can be super lazy about it.
Ooh.
Just heard I'm a narcissist everywhere.
That's also true, but I try not to advertise that too much because I guess people think it's a bad thing.
So now you all know the real deal of what you're getting. So
Yeah.
XP and inspiration.
XP and
Yeah,
inspiration.
Great question. We
I-
killed some people. We were like a hair's breadth away from leveling.
Oh yeah, you were right next to a level, weren't you?
Oh God.
Oh,
It's
that's
not-
exciting. So
This is probably still not going to be enough. Watch it.
Oh no, it's like I need
how
like
far away are you guys? Like 100 XP?
900.
Oh,
Less.
900? This is almost certainly not going to be enough.
Experience
see.
from role playing. Wow.
Okay,
did a lot
so
of talking this
the
session.
guards were worth, so that's 50 from the guards plus
Total?
200 from the scouts, 250 plus the armor soldier is another 100, so that's 350 right there. Experience for role playing. Let's see. Did you do anything like specifically noteworthy?
Dragon egg.
The dragon egg thing? I feel like that's more of an inspiration-y deal.
Yeah. No, I don't think we're getting
I think you earned inspiration off that. I think Albert earned a point of inspiration off of the conversation with Zaire. I think both of you get inspiration for being drunk. And as for experience, did you overcome any narrative obstacles today? Toledo. Toledo. You
yeah,
dealt with
Toledo.
Toledo in a reasonable way. That was one of your complications.
Yeah. Okay.
So you
Was him just coming to talk smack to me?
yeah, I mean you were trying to gain some favor with the
Up-and-comings?
travelers, and he put a bit of a wrench in that.
Okay.
So I'll give you. He's a big dude. One of the things that we're gonna have to talk about on this break is adjusting the XP scaling. There's an Unearthed Arcana that came out that I think would fit this campaign a little better that we're gonna have to discuss and see if it works for you guys. But I think, let's see, I've given you 350. In order to level, you would need what? 550? You need 550? I don't think you earn 550. I'll give you another 200.
All right.
But
500 total?
550 total.
We're at 3,700 now.
Out of
14.
14,000.
Yeah.
300 away.
Mm.
We almost made it, Chris. We tried.
We could prep.
Quickly, more guards show up. And
I mean, you could just hang out in the city and kill all the guards in Crystal Harbor, but
we just have to wait for 5 more guards, exactly like these ones. We kept them in a line this time.
And then we just
one-shot them.
Yeah, I mean, John has another fireball spell. You'll be fine.
I have another wins or two. We're good.
No, you'll level next session. It'll be fine. You will absolutely level next session. You could like sneeze on someone and level. You'll be fine. So yeah. For those of you watching, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.